What awaits us in the unknowable future? Welcome back to Lurking Dusk. Once again, I'm Benny Paulsen, and tonight's broadcast is going to be a fun learning experience. Now, as many of us here in town know, about a month ago, around the time the show first began, a strange lady had suddenly appeared in town that nobody had seen before, claiming to be a visitor from the future. Well, I've gotten a wonderful opportunity to speak with her tonight in an exclusive interview. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to formally introduce my guest on tonight's show, Miss Hurla Shamwell.
Hello, Graniville. It's been so much fun ever since I got to this time. Thank you so much for having me, Ben. I'm a big fan.
I'm happy to hear it. Now, Hurla, you've heard my show before, so you know I will be collecting your word as evidence for my listeners here, but I'd like to ask a couple of, business personal questions as well, if you're comfortable with that.
Oh, absolutely. I've learned so much about all of you. It's only fair you learn stuff about me, right?
Right. So before we go into any specifics, you have been telling citizens since you got here that you're a Graniville resident, correct?
That's right. I've always been here. Well, not here. Not yet. I'll be an official citizen in 48 years.
That's certainly some time from now. And how exactly were you able to travel back here? How advanced is technology in the future?
You see, I get that question a lot. Everyone thinks there's some big box you step into or like a glowy device with a big button, when really, it's something you can just do on your phone. Things aren't super technologically advanced, but they've made some strides.
Interesting. I never would have thought it would be so easily accessible.
We didn't either. It seemed like such faraway technology, then one day it wasn't. And as time goes on, stuff gets cheap and becomes old news. It's kind of like game consoles.
So, Hurla, I've heard a lot of citizens ask this, and I guess we can't really be sure, which is why we're curious, but do you know what things may happen during our current time?
That one's a little tougher to answer. It's something like reading a book. Imagine you look at the end of a book. Now you know the ending and you want to read through the story. Each time something important happens in the story, it helps the end make sense. But if you change a part that you want to change because you don't like it, then the ending will be different. Make sense?
I suppose it does. You're being very open with us right now, and you have been open about this time-traveling thing since you arrived last month. Is that safe for you? Some would assume that you wouldn't want people knowing you're from the future.
Oh, me being here doesn't hurt the timeline or whatever. Think of me as an Easter egg. I'm always here, but outside the natural rule. If you were to put a mirror in front of you and say, "I'm in a mirror," would the mirror break? People knowing I'm from the future is like saying I'm in a mirror. I can say things that will affect the future, but nothing I actually do will change the future.
It sounds like time travel is a lot less detrimental than we thought. Now, before I get to the big question of the evening, I personally would like to know where you are able to call home right now.
Oh, I just bought myself one of the apartments on Hinberry Street. They're incredibly nice and super quiet.
Oh, you don't live that far away from me.
You should come over sometime. I think we'd be great friends.
I'll have to take you up on that offer later on. Now, there is one question that everyone in town has had on their minds. What made you want to come to our time?
I guess it would be because I thought it would be cool. In elementary school, they taught us about an event. Ever since I learned about it, I've always had a fascination with your time. More specifically, I've always wanted to meet the great Ben Paulsen. I can't I can't talk too much about it, but things started to happen after you got your show. Not the usual stuff the town is known for. My teachers told me that you are, the first person to investigate the town. I was told that before you, nobody tried to check out the weird stuff. Nobody pried into the extraordinary. But you, Ben, you did. Don't you think that's strange?
I've never really thought about it before.
There's some bad dudes out there, Ben. Not normal people like us, but really bad dudes. You're going to come across a lot of assholes, Ben. And I need you to know that you're an important part of history.
Hurla, I think this is going away from the question.
No, you have to listen to this. You need to remember what I'm saying, Ben. Don't fight. No matter what happens, don't fight. Report. Investigate. Do what you usually do. Just don't try to use violence. Remember that there's always a way out, even if you can't see it directly. There is always a way out of any situation.
Okay, I'll remember that.
I'm sorry. That was really sudden.
No, it's okay. Really.
Do you have any other questions?
Nope. That's all I have written down here.
All right. Cool. I'm so glad to have been on your show. I'm a really big fan, and it was a super big honor.
Thank you for being on the show, Hurla. It was wonderful having you.
I'll leave my phone number on the desk. I was serious about being friends.
Of course. I'm sure it will be a lot of fun. Well, listeners, tonight's broadcast has been very interesting. I wonder what she could have meant by that. I think we're very fortunate to have a real-life time traveler among us. I think she'll be a fun addition to the town. What about you, listeners? What did you all think of Miss Shamwell? Could she really be from the future? Now that I think about it, I probably should have asked her to verify some future events. I must have forgot to note it down during my unprofessional excitement. Oh well. That concludes tonight's broadcast, and I thank all of you for joining me tonight. A wonderful step into the world that we have not yet experienced. I hope all of you accept Hurla with open arms and hearts. Enjoy the rest of your night, and may your days be brighter than the dusk. Graniville was written and directed by Oshay McGrogan, with music by Hinojosa. The voice of Benny Paulsen was Oshay McGrogan. The voice of Hurla Shamwell was Emily Ritter. Thank you for listening.